In the shadows of the global stage, a new kind of war is brewing, a tech war between the United States and China. This isn't your typical battlefield skirmish. No, this is a battle of innovation, patents, and technological supremacy. It's a clash of titans, the United States and China, two superpowers locked in a fierce competition to dominate the future of technology. The stakes? Nothing less than control over key technologies that are shaping our world. 5G, artificial intelligence, semiconductors, and more. This tech Cold War is more than just a race to the next big thing. It's a geopolitical chess game, with each move having ripple effects across the globe. It's about economic power, national security, and the balance of global influence. The United States, long considered the world's technological leader, is feeling the heat from a rapidly advancing China. The U.S. has responded with a strategy that includes not just innovation but also legislation and even invalidation of patents, particularly those held by Chinese tech giant Huawei. Meanwhile, China, a rising star in the tech world, is not taking this lying down. It's accelerating its tech development, investing heavily in innovation, and fighting tooth and nail to protect its intellectual property rights. But what happens when traditional principles of intellectual property protection are challenged? The U.S.'s move to invalidate Huawei's patents is a seismic shift that could disrupt the established intellectual property system and create uncertainty for inventors and innovators worldwide. This tech Cold War isn't just about who has the best gadgets. It's a battle that could reshape the global innovation ecosystem, potentially hindering progress and escalating intellectual property disputes on a global scale. And it's not just the U.S. and China who will feel the impact. This tech standoff could disrupt economic interdependence, strain diplomatic relations, and impact trust between nations. This tech Cold War has far-reaching implications not just for these two superpowers, but for the entire global economy. To understand the present, we must delve into the past. The US-China tech standoff didn't happen overnight. Our tale begins with the meteoric rise of Huawei, a Chinese telecom titan in the early 20s. Huawei's ambitious surge in the tech scene was largely fueled by its pioneering advancements in fifth-generation or 5G technology. But this rapid ascension didn't go unnoticed. The United States, wary of the potential national security threats posed by a foreign tech powerhouse, began outlining defensive measures. By the mid-20s, Huawei had become a global leader in 5G technology, holding a substantial number of patents and setting the pace for the global tech race. However, the United States was growing increasingly uncomfortable. In response, a series of sanctions were imposed on Huawei, restricting its access to American technology and markets. This didn't stop Huawei, though. The company continued its ambitious expansion, bolstered by an impressive patent portfolio that was a testament to its innovative prowess. Yet, it was this very portfolio that would become a primary target for the United States in the escalating tech conflict. In a move that shook the foundations of intellectual property rights, the United States passed legislation targeting Chinese entities on the Entity List. The goal was to prevent these entities from acquiring U.S. patents if their activities were deemed to threaten national security. This move was widely seen as a strategic attempt to cut off Huawei's lifeline and stifle its growth and influence in the global tech market. This unprecedented action challenged traditional principles of intellectual property protection. It threw a wrench into the existing intellectual property system, causing uncertainties for inventors and innovators worldwide. The United States' willingness to invalidate patents was a clear signal of its intent to curtail China's technological progress at any cost. And so, the stage was set for a tech standoff of epic proportions. In the heart of this tech war lies a battle for patents, particularly those related to 5G technology. As we delve deeper into this skirmish, we find that the U.S. has made a bold move, a move that challenges the very principles of intellectual property protection. The U.S. has targeted Huawei by invalidating its patents. This is no random jab in the dark. It's a calculated strategic strike aimed at severing Huawei's lifeline and stifling its growth and influence in the global tech market. Now you might ask, why would they do that? Well, it's quite simple. It's all about control. By invalidating Huawei's patents, the U.S. is seeking to limit the company's access to the U.S. market and hinder its ability to compete on a global scale. The idea is to cut off the oxygen supply to the fire of Huawei's global expansion. However, this move has far-reaching implications. It's not just about Huawei, it's about the potential disruption of the existing intellectual property system. It's about the uncertainties this could cause for inventors and innovators worldwide. It's about the possible disruption to the global innovation ecosystem. This isn't the first time we've seen such tactics. The US has a historical pattern of using blockades, restrictive legislation, and drastic measures to curtail China's technological progress. This recent patent invalidation bill is just the latest move in a three-phase approach that has been unfolding over the past few years. But this patent war is not without its dangers. The use of patent invalidation as a tool in competition could escalate intellectual property disputes on a global scale. It could hinder progress and disrupt the delicate balance of economic interdependence. The overarching concern here is not just about limiting China's technological and industrial growth. It's about the potential for escalating competitive and antagonistic relations between the US and China. It's about the strain this could put on diplomatic relations, the impact on trust, and the hindrance to diplomatic objectives. This patent battle is not just about technological dominance, it's about reshaping the global tech landscape. The US's patent invalidation move has sent shockwaves through the global innovation ecosystem. This is not just a ripple in a pond, but rather a seismic disturbance in the ocean of technological progress. The reverberations of this move are felt far and wide, from the bustling tech hubs of Silicon Valley to the cutting-edge research labs of Shenzhen. Imagine being an inventor or an innovator, pouring your heart and soul into creating something novel, something that could potentially change the world. Now, think about the level of uncertainty injected into this process when the sanctity of patents is challenged. It's like building a house on shifting sands. With the US willing to invalidate patents, the once firm ground of intellectual property protection principles seems to be quaking beneath the feet of inventors worldwide. Moreover, this move isn't just about one patent or one company. It's about the very fabric of the global innovation ecosystem. It's an ecosystem that thrives on collaboration, on the free exchange of ideas, on mutual respect for intellectual property rights. But when these principles are challenged, the entire ecosystem is at risk of disruption. And let's not forget the potential for this move to escalate intellectual property disputes on a global scale. Intellectual property rights have always been a thorny issue, a delicate balance between protecting the rights of inventors and fostering innovation. But when one of the world's superpowers is willing to invalidate patents, it could potentially ignite a patent war, the likes of which we have never seen. In the grand chessboard of global tech competition, each move counts. But this move by the US, this patent invalidation, is no ordinary move. It's a gambit, a risky play that could either pay off or backfire spectacularly. And it's not just the players in this game who stand to lose. The entire world, the global innovation ecosystem, is caught in the crossfire. The fallout from this move is far from over, and the global innovation ecosystem will likely bear the brunt of it. This is a story still unfolding, with the next chapters yet to be written. But one thing is certain: the tremors from this seismic shift are set to reverberate for years to come. As we gaze into the future, the tech Cold War between the US and China shows no signs of abating. The battle lines have been drawn, and the world now watches as these two tech titans spar over the future of global innovation. The stakes are high. The US, intent on curtailing China's technological progress, faces a daunting task. The recent move to invalidate patents held by Huawei is a strategic attempt to cut off the tech giant's lifeline and stifle its influence in the global tech market. But the consequences of this action could be far-reaching, affecting not just China, but the entire global innovation ecosystem. The US's willingness to challenge traditional intellectual property protection principles disrupts the existing system, causing uncertainties for inventors and innovators worldwide. It's a dangerous game, one that could escalate intellectual property disputes on a global scale and hinder technological progress. But it's not just about technology. This tech Cold War has the potential to strain diplomatic relations and impact trust between the US and China. The economic interdependence that once held these two nations together is now threatened, as each side employs drastic measures to gain an upper hand. In the face of these challenges, China is unlikely to sit idle. As the U.S. attempts to limit its growth, China could respond in kind, leading to a further escalation of tensions. This could disrupt the global tech market, affecting everything from 5G networks to artificial intelligence and beyond. The future of the tech Cold War is uncertain. It's a high-stakes game of chess, with each move potentially altering the global tech landscape. But one thing is clear: the repercussions of this war will be felt around the globe for years to come. As we stand on the precipice of this new era, we must ask ourselves, what will the world look like in the aftermath of this tech Cold War? Will innovation thrive, or will it become a casualty of this escalating conflict? Only time will tell who will emerge victorious in this tech Cold War, but one thing is clear: the repercussions of this war will be felt around the globe for years to come.